Hey everyone, this is Playing Role. I'm Roger, as usual. Today, just want to talk about timing in your game. Timing is really important, I think, for keeping track of a lot of things, like how long you have until the evil overlord completes his plan, down to how many days until the blacksmith finishes with my armor, or even on a combat level of how many rounds do we have until the ceiling of the cavern caves in. And I think even if it's just a rough estimate, that the players should always have some idea of the stakes and when something is going to happen. They might not know exactly what's going to happen, but I think that they should have an idea that something bad or something pressing is going on that garners their attention right away. Otherwise, I think things get stale quick because the players are always saying, "Well, let's who cares about the cultists right in the cave? Let's just wait another week until my armor's done, and whatnot." So, if you tell them, well, maybe people are going to get killed, or there's some sort of motivation, then they'll say, okay, well, let's see, do we wait for my armor or do we not, type of thing. So some of the things that I do in my game, uh, I have a various amount of things that I have stolen and some things that are mine. So this here, this page and the next page is from Dungeon Crawl Classics Lankhmar, which basically just lists the years and the months. It just names them. And then this page here shows us what the different days are called, as well as the numbers. And that's basically it. And I just keep track of them, and they all have a lucky or an unlucky thing, which I'll generally just add 3 or 4 to the difficulty to if it's something that's unlucky, or if they're lucky, I'll subtract 3 or 4 from the modifier. Or if, for example, on the day of the porpoise, if they go on an ocean voyage, then and they come across a random encounter on that day, then maybe I'll say that the pirates that they come across are wounded already, or they're kind of limping along, or something like that, so that they're lucky, right? So that's what I do as far as the big picture stuff goes. And this is just a simple Word document of how I keep track of the days. And I'll generally just use that to write down what is going on as far as when things are going to be completed, and a rough estimate of what actually happened on that day. Just so that I have kind of a quick log. So then basically, that's basically it for the monthly stuff. For days, what I did is I had this printout and I laminated it, and I use a whiteboard marker on this and just cross off the hours as they go, and I have rounds and turns also listed on there. So then basically I print out this sheet here and have these laminated, and I cut them out, and I use them for rounds, turns, hours, days, anything that I need a timer for, and I just tick it off little by little. So, for example, if someone lights a torch, I'll write torch, and that'll be 6 turns. 6 turns is an hour. Now, for me, during exploration and dungeon crawling, things like that, combat is always rounded up to a turn, so 10 minutes, and 6 turns is an hour, so that's perfect for how long a torch lasts. Also, any exploring a room, searching a room, things like that all takes 10 minutes. And this way it's easy to keep track of what time and time flow, and even hours, days, all that stuff. Some of this stuff needs to be, I understand that a lot of people don't track time and stuff, but sometimes it's very important. It needs to be tracked because you need to know how long it's been for specific things. And maybe you don't want to keep track of how long a torch lasts, and you just want to say everybody's got a torch and you just light it, and that's fine. If you don't want to get into the minutia of that thing in your game, then that's fine. But I think that the exploration aspect of D&D or any other tabletop game where you have a torch or a limited supply of light, that it makes things more time sensitive. Say, okay, we only have this much time of light left, so what are we going to do? Is the cleric gonna spend some of his spells to make light, or the wizard or something, or are we gonna try and make torches, or do we just have to go in and do this thing and then get out and that's it? I think in any aspect there should always be some sort of time element going on, even if it's big picture, big thing. Like the players, if you tell the players, there's this evil cult in this cave system. Like, what are they doing? Are they just hanging out waiting for the players to show up? And yeah, like maybe some instances. I'm not saying that every single thing, right, needs to be like this, every cave that they explore, but hey, like, you want the players to go there and do this thing? Well, maybe the cultists, maybe they jumped a caravan and they have like 20 people that they took hostage, right? And every day at dawn or every day at midnight, they sacrifice one of them to their evil god, and this evil god slowly grows in power and is manifesting in our world, right? Gains strength every single day, and then it's like, holy shit, we got to go take care of this thing in a hurry. Like those are the things that I mean. So like, yeah, we can wait another 5 days until my armor's done and go there. But if we do that, well, 5 more people are going to die. Do we want to chance that? Is that worth it? And then if the townspeople find out, they might say, hey, look, if you go now, maybe, that'd be better. Or if the townsfolk find out, oh, well, they waited till the blacksmith was done. Like maybe they lynched the blacksmith for taking so long, and then that's on the player's conscience. Or maybe they go after them or something. So there should always be these kind of stakes. In combat, especially, I think that whenever combat starts, you roll a die, right? Now, I like the D7. Obviously, we've talked about the D7s before, and I kind of have a thing for D7s. So I kind of want to roll those and say, hey, look, in this many rounds, something's going to happen, right? Just roll the die. If you don't want to make things that bad, roll a D8 or a D12. If you want to make things more pressing, use a D6 every time, or use a D4 if you want to make it super pressing. And then every time combat round ends, just tick it down one. And the players don't need to know what it is, right? Sometimes you do. Sometimes you say, okay, there's a fire or some torches, and it falls on some boxes, and there's dynamite inside, and it's going to explode in this many rounds, right? But maybe something else is going on. Maybe it's going to be that many rounds before the cultists finish their ritual, right? And then some bad thing happens. Or this is how many rounds until the ogre wakes up, or he hears the combat and wakes up. Or maybe the cave system spews some evil mist or mold dust or something into the air, and it empowers the cultists because they're used to it, right? And it makes the players dizzy or something, anything like that, that can change things. And I think the players, if you do this more often than not, the players will slowly realize that, hey, there's this die that's ticking down. Like, we might not know what's going to happen, but something bad is probably going to happen. And maybe give them a perception check, right, to see what's going on. And I wouldn't hide any of this from the players. I would roll the die in public whenever combat starts. Take out a large D6 and roll it on the table in front of them, and boom, there it is. And then when it's out, and you leave it out in the middle of the table, and then every time a combat round ends, point to one of your players and say, hey, can you make that 4 or 3 there? And they know, like, something big is going to happen in 3 rounds, right? It gets to 1, and then when you take it off the table, the thing happens, and that's it. So, I don't know. Now, I would try and make all of the information public as far as what's going to happen when it's a bigger scale event. Maybe not all, but at least have some of an idea. So, like, you might know what the evil sorcerer is planning, or at least a little bit. Or maybe you know, a traveler overhears somebody getting something, magic items or whatever, or a potion or something for an evil sorcerer, and you know that he can't wait for some big full moon event or something that's supposed to happen. And then the players say, okay, well, this guy's doing this, and maybe they can look around and say, okay, well, he's definitely buying body parts or golem parts or things like that. And then let them put together, oh, okay, like he must be building a golem, and then something happens on the full moon that allows him to wake this thing up. And then that's the timer thing, right? Like they can wait. You know, just, hey, let's laze around and let's take 4 days of rest and whatnot. But maybe by the time they get to this, now they're going to have to deal with this evil sorcerer and the evil sorcerer's golem or whatever it is. So I think timers are important for keeping the game moving and things like that. And so that's what I use. Again, I would use a D7 for everything. I think that's like the perfect randomization to roll. But I mean, it's understandable if you want to use a D6 or a D4 or something. But if you have a D7, use that. Make me proud. Let me know how everybody else uses timers in your games. How you use them, what you use them for. Do you use them for everything? Do you not use them at all? And let me know how that works out in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Especially if you like the videos. If you don't like the videos, maybe subscribe anyway. Tell someone else to subscribe. How about that? If you hate my videos, have someone else subscribe, because then they'll have to deal with me and not you, right? Yeah. We'll see you on the next one.